warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Iza Shaiba binti Muhammad Hafiz, and I'm a student from UTSM. And so for this video, I'm going to present about the topic of the 2021 Kelana Jaya about the collusion. So let's get started the video. Okay, so starting from this video presentation, I'm going to explain about the history of the LRT Kelana Jaya collusion, which collusion that happens in 24 May 2021 around 8:45 p.m. And this incident happened in Kuala Lumpur, which took place in tunnel between the KLCC LRT station and the Kampung Baru LRT station. So this serious collision caused between the incident of two LRT. Because of this, have a worse impact, and it caused many 213 people that being injured, and with 47 sustaining serious injuries of the passenger of LRT. Okay, so for this slide, I'm going to present about the proper identification. So for this slide, there's two things that I will explain, which is the aging rolling stock and insufficient rolling stock. And the rest I will explain later. So starting from the aging rolling stock, we know that the Kelana Jaya LRT was operating since 1998. It's about around like very old, and so because of it's so old, Muhammad Azharuddin mentioned that the train and infrastructure maintenance should have been done 2 years ago. Well, that can imply that the aging of the rolling stock has not properly addressed it. And as for the second one is the insufficient rolling stock. One of the Prasarana. So the Prasarana has plans to add 27 more trains to the Kelana Jaya line, with 8 already received, and the rest expected to arrive by the end of 2024. Because that, it is suggested that the current rolling stock is insufficient to meet the service demands, which may have contributed to the operational distributions experienced before the collusion. So I will continue for the rest on the next slide. There is the rest of the problem identification, which is number 3 and 4. And number 3 is the lack of proactive. Muhammad Azharuddin acknowledged that the maintenance of the trains and infrastructure should have been done earlier, indicating a reactive rather than proactive approach. So the plan is to introduce a census system to collect train movement data and predict potential damage, which is a step towards a more proactive maintenance strategy. And so for the next one is the competency gap in infrastructure engineers, which he mentioned that the need for new talent, especially in infrastructure engineers with the necessary training to implement the new maintenance approach. This suggests a potential competency gap in the current engineering team responsible for maintaining the rolling stock and infrastructure. So for this slide is one of the engineering solution of the Kelana Jaya. So the Minister of Transport, Dato Seri Engineer Dr. Wee Ka Seong, informed the progress of 23 improvement initiatives for the Kelana Jaya line, which to improve the overall of performance of the repair, which this also explain that the MOT to the Land Public Transport Agency, aka the APAD, will always monitor the development of infrastructure and the rapid rail efforts. One of the 23 improvements have different terms, which is three. So the first term is the short term. There are 5 of them, and it takes 1 to 3 months. And the second one is the medium term, which have 11 of them, and that spanning around 3 to 6 months. And the long term, which is the 6 or longer months, and that have 7 improvement initiative for the Kelana Jaya line. So I'm going to explain about what are the 5 for short term in 1 to 3 months. We have the 5 of them, starting which is the number 1 is post to hostel drivers, which manual train operation with tunnels and train recovery. And number 2, the upgrade work tool, high visibility torchlight for carrying out duties in low visibility environments, only for the LRT tunnels. Number 3 is improved checklist booklet, and that used to by hostler and the OCC. And the 4th one is the report safety issued periodically. And this one is to safety performance report and improvement issue to the top management on monthly basis. And the 5th one is to establish a siting committee to perform audits on track markers. So for this next slide is the 11 medium term initiative that's spanning around 3 to 6 months. As you can see for this slide, I will only present by 6 info. For the next slide, I will explain the rest of it. So the first one is the SOP's evaluation for manual driving, which also evaluate SOPs used for manual operations within the tunnels, SOP on train timeout inside tunnel. And the second one is the evaluation on radio communication. With this one, that can determine the improvement required for the communication system. I perform only audit and report verified by external party. And number 3 is the improvement on the SOPs. This improvement SOPs for this one is only improved for SOP is only for OCC, which for new SOPs were developed and 25 existing SOPs were enhanced. The 4th one is the review on SOPs, which enhance the SOPs for operating during normal, degraded, and critical situations. And the 5th one is the management accountability. This one is also to develop the SOP for emergency response plans and safety procedures. And the 6th one, communication plan, is to develop on SOPs for communication to all levels of staff. So the next info I will in it. Okay, so now we back to continuation info about this medium terms. Back to continuation for number 7 is the rule book and the manual review, which this also the revise the operation rule book, OCC manual, and hostless manual. And the number 8 is the job safety analysis, which perform analysis on safety critical position, including competencies and knowledge. And the number 9 is the traction power management. This one is also improve the power energization and de-energization only during the emergency. This is also one of the that incorporated via rule books review. And second last one is the safety and emergency equipment. This one is a perform evaluation and audit of the equipment, and it also more than 20 items of safety and emergency equipment for train and station audit. And the last one is the 11 number, which risk evaluation for radio communication, that establish a risk assessment on the communication system. So for the next slide. So for this next slide is about the 7 for long term that took 6 months and longer than that, which happened around 2022. So as you can see, there are 3 progression that happened during December, the year of 2022. The first one is the improve refresher course and recertification for all personnel, which complete by only 89.5%. And the second one, which complete by 25% by review risk profiles of stations within 12 vestibules. And the third one only complete by 31% that performs simulations on all existing and revised SOPs. And as you can see, another progression that happened during September, there are 2. So the first one is complete by 51% only for by performing the reliability, availability, maintainability, and safety. For short one is called RAMS. And the other one is tendered by the September 2022, that which um, electronic train detection systems timeout trains that are detectable remotely. And another progression happened during September 2022 as well. It's still progressive by undergoing RAM study, and that they're doing the install of hot button system to simplify the OCC control over trains during critical situations. And the last one is the progression under APAD, which have happened and with the enforcement division of the Land Public Transport Agency. That's also the full name of the APAD. And finally, we have reached the last slide of the video presentation of the Kelana Jaya of collusion. Thank you for your attention of this video presentation.